You're obviously a lyric guy. You enjoy lyrics. The music part is equally of interest to me, but I do find the lyrics to be like the true telling of who I am.
At what point did lyrics come to you in the songwriting process? I know you would write these. When I was reading the previous City Pages interview, there was a reference to you coming to the band with chord structures.
Yeah.
And then everyone kind of develops a song. Would it be at that stage that lyrics arrive, or earlier? Or
I don't bring the song to the band unless it's like 75% done.
Okay.
So it's
the
pretty
lyrics
close
come
at that point.
Before the rest of the band.
Yeah. The lyrics are usually come with the song, and I don't know. It's usually the same time. I'm writing the music for 3 or 4 songs right now, and I have these, 2 of which are good, I think. But there's 2 of them that are like very close, and they're very close, and they're ready to show the band. But I just don't know. Bringing them to the band, and then I just like to be pretty close to done, so I'm not wasting their time, because I really want them to be like, oh, I see this song now.
Yeah.
But and I feel like that still leaves them a lot of space to create on top of it. But I like to really have a good finished demo of it to play for them when we get together. But I mean, I do let them take full reign, whoever we're playing with at the time, which now is my wife Josie on keyboards and organ, and Tyler Thole on guitar, and Jim O'Neill on bass, and Andrew Bartleson on drums. So we're just kind of a tight rock group now. But we still, we use a lot of, maracas and tambourines and wheelrows, a fish, just kind of, we're a silly rock band, but we're a tight silly rock band, not with like brass and violins anymore as much. So it's just kind of like this, and flutes. We were like an 8-piece group.
Andrew Thoreen and his trombone on one of the songs.
Andrew Thoreen did play on this album, and he is unbelievable. He and Sarah Jane did the session of brass stuff together, and it was beautiful on its own.
Is that on the title track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on that one, and that Starry Night song.
Yeah.
And I think it's just those 2. Yeah. And they're on She as well. So they're on those 3 songs. But they But yeah, I still got all these like instruments on the album, but as far as playing out, and we're gonna be playing shows after this release. It's gonna strip down is safer for me. I feel a lot more comfortable with less people now, because there's less sound and to get lost in. I just can focus a little bit more.
Yeah. So
that's part of the reason as well. But it's also just we're not much of a bluegrass vibe on this album. There's only one song, and it's kind of become, because we were playing with banjos and
Which
violins.
song is that?
Glasgow.
Yeah,
Lowlands,
exactly. That's where I was kind of leading up, because we have flute. We have flutes on that one, yeah?
Yeah, flute. So Jenny wrote she sent me, we were sending back and forth stuff, and she sent me just MP3s of her playing things. And she said it was like, I think she said it was like Scottish improvisation in the key of, in the key of G or something. Yeah. That's what she said. So it was a Scottish, and I didn't know what that meant. I've never been to Scotland.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about what she was talking about, but I was like, well,
being content as you are with Minneapolis.
Yes, exactly. And poor is really the reason. And I never have any money to travel. But that's why I don't enjoy traveling. It's like I don't have any money, so it doesn't matter. But she sent me this thing, and it really was that flute line that she plays.
Yeah.
And the same line that we re-recorded it at my house, but for the album. But she thought it was funny, because she's like, I was humming to her the flute line, because she didn't remember recording it like a year ago, a year previous. So I'm humming it to her, and she's like, okay. So she's just kind of writing it down when I'm humming, but we're kind of re-listening to her track. But
from San Francisco?
Yes.
So it's like evoking Scotland.
Yeah.
From San Francisco.
Yeah.
Via Minneapolis.
I figured. I mean, she said it was a Scottish thing, so I was like, well, how about Glasgow? And then I was like, oh, there's Highlands in Glasgow, and so I was like, let's make a song.
And when there's Highlands, there's Lowlands.
There must be Lowlands. So I was like, I read about the Highlands. I think I was doing some research on Scotland.
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, how about Lowlands. And then I was like, because this guy's not doing so hot, but he had a really good time in Glasgow, though. That's how I imagined.
What does Glasgow mean for this?
I don't know much about Scotland. You've been there, probably.
I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. I've never been.
You succeeded at writing a song that evokes Scotland without having been there.
Good. Well, I enjoy drinking scotch, and I imagined a guy that drank, like I imagined myself going to Scotland and drinking too much scotch, and writing a very bizarre poem that is a word concoction of complicated phrases to memorize and say out loud while
closing in on close encounters.
Yeah.
Everlasting sunken dream.
Yeah.
Let's bring in the
water.
Nautical and the dream components.
It'd be funny if I said I can't swim now or something.
Yeah.
No, I can't. But,
yeah.
Well, I was like, I was thinking more alcohol sunken in, drinking.
Right. Okay. So this is like
it's more not water reference necessarily like the ocean or water. It's
mojito's good, scotch bad.
Yeah, they can be both. They can both be good and bad. Yeah.
And in those lanes, the lanes in the Glasgow Lowlands, I will let go of all the seeds I've ever sown. Is the note on which the song ends.
That is like throwing it all away.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another sad ending.
Yeah, it's quite a
yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't think about it too. I mean, the song is so happy and bouncy and stuff, and yeah, it's one of those things where there's a lot of little sad notes in there between the lines. But I think it's just that, like, yeah, this guy's had a tough night, but he's getting a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but in the end, he does kind of throw it all away. But all the seeds you've ever sown, I was trying to figure that out when that came out of my mouth when I was singing it. I just didn't really know what I was saying, but I thought that meant like seeds you've sown is like the lessons you've learned.
Yeah.
And so I think like
so there's unlearning.
I think he's worried, or he's worried, but he was worried, but he's not anymore. Like he's learned these poor lessons, and he wants to kind of just get rid of it. He's like, no, just don't worry about that. Like throw that away.
Yeah.
You're where you need to be. Yeah.
Get rid of it.
Yeah. Open the door and get rid of it. Yeah.
The thing that we're moving through in Staring Into the Sun is the park. And then later when it gets dark is more or less the next lyric. It made me think of Perfect Day.
Oh, the read?
Yeah. And the Velvet Underground. Is there a kind of the ghost of Perfect Day in Staring Into the Sun?
I didn't ever consider it. Never thought of that song when I was writing that song.
Okay.
I do love that song.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about it necessarily, but I love that it would bring to that mind that song.
There's a sadness and a kind of loneliness.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, we are traveling through the park, and in both cases, but there's a disconnection.
Sure.
How does that come through, and how are you using the idea of staring into the sun to evoke whatever it is that you're evoking about the human dynamic here?
Well, I've thought about staring at the sun a lot this week.
Yes, yeah, this week
literally
is
a lot of staring.
The week of the solar eclipse, which was the week that the Staring Into the Sun song was released.
Yeah.
So good PR.
It's staring at the sun is bad for you, and I mean I could leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that song is about to me. It's a love song about two people who will never get together, because it's like, it's like someone who's in love with someone but they don't love them back. It's the classic love story of. I'm not the first one to come up with that concept, but the idea that the one person should not love the other because by spending time with that person, they're just gonna. It's like it's a bad idea because they'll never love you back.
Okay.
So it's like staring into the sun. Kind of you're curious to look at something, and it's only gonna lead to your pain. So it's a painful breakup song kind of thing. And except they were never together is the idea.
But the sense of like, oh, this could work, it comes through in the lyrics. You say that in a previous life, or maybe in the next one, we
really
could
harsh.
be lovers.
Exactly. I love that line. That's my favorite part about it, I think, because it just the way that phrase comes off. It's just like, oh, just maybe in a previous life.
There's so
They're
many
like-
reasons
and the
why
guy's
this
just
could be working, but it's evidently not.
It'll
Is
never- yeah. There's a Holly song off Evolution. It's not on the American version. It's on the British version. It wasn't released on there. But of course, congratulations. I don't know. But yeah, that was the song I was listening to when I wrote that song, because it kind of referred to light. Those guys wrote some good breakup songs and
Right.
love heartbroken songs. You know, something about a girl like leaving her a light on. If her light's on, then he knows she's home.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's not on. It's like never. It's not on for this guy.
Something that's happening on the record is we're being carried through the darkness to the light. Here, though, in Staring into the Sun, we're traveling from a light that seems beautiful and seems to be what one should be traveling towards, away from the light, through the park, into the darkness.
Oh, yeah.
And that's happening a fair amount, I think.
I actually have played that song with my classical guitar at a couple places solo, and I played a lot slower and softer, and usually at the end people are like, oh. Like, oh, is that guy, is that guy all right? I do think it's fun because it's just like this push and pull of this relationship with people, and they're just, they're battling, and it's fun to like see these two characters kind of go at it in my mind.
Yes.
I don't know, I mean, it's that push and pull, I guess, that I think that we've talked about already. It's just like, maybe in my own mind, that there's like, I just like to kind of find those relationships and then kind of watch them play out. And in that case, it's not, I'm fine with them not working out, the relationship, I think it creates a much more interesting story that way. Staring to the Sun just feels like a good phrase too. No one should be doing that. You should wear protective glasses if you do this. Just like you should in trying to find someone to love, you should be wearing protective silver glasses, that you can look at the sun with.
The emphasis on like taking care of oneself and self-preservation.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
That seems to be a common thread.
I think you nailed it there. I wouldn't deny that. I like that thought process. I got a lot.
And that comes through in the song. I think Tune It Out is the only one that we haven't really kind of zoomed in on in detail.
Yeah.
And if on the one hand we started by talking about sailboats and the idea of like broadening vision and being in touch with as much, being there in the present.
Yes.
In seeing as much reality and being present in as much reality as one can. Yeah. This is almost the opposite, tuning that which is not helpful out. And the song begins, we can hear this interesting, it's reminiscent in a way of the 50-minute lunch break song, insofar as we hear stuff at the beginning and at the end. What are those, are they field recordings? What's going on?
I can't say.
Okay, that's the secret.
I could be. It's very, I don't have permission to say where those came from.
Okay.
I'm not going to say where that came from. But they're very, if anyone figures it out, I would be very impressed. But it also does, it's tricky to talk about that song because it also leads to kind of what inspired it. But I'll say this much, it was kind of a song I had. I was trying to tune, the idea was tune it out, not in any radio way, of course. It was like literally just the idea of tuning out noise of sort.
Yeah.
And
what interferes with one's carrying through
present.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of the idea, and it didn't. But yeah, that one gets pretty dark too. I didn't even think about that. That one's really happy though. That one's like the most foot stomping on the live when we play, I think.
Yeah.
It really has the most like upbeat vibe, I think. But
whereas in the lyrics, there's mirrors reflect who we are like an oncoming car.
Yeah.
And then there's a reference to a crash in the next lyric. The image of oneself.
The actual image.
But an image reflected in a car, which is this pretty
like a car coming to
towards one.
Kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a scary thing.
Yeah, quite a lot scarier than a kite.
That's so true.
Desert.
Oh man. Yeah. No, it's true. I don't think. I think that is a very crazy image to to put out there.
Yeah.
And then like eventually there's a fire that burns down
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, it's a very sad. I mean, it is truly like, you know, if you have any sort of darkness in your day to day, which I feel this last year, a couple of years, I have 2 kids now, and everything. My life's changed so much. I don't focus on my thoughts, my own thoughts as much as I used to, because I don't have time to.
Yeah.
But before I had kids, I'd get into my mind and I could think about, you know, different avenues that that my brain could go down, and they were sometimes scary, sometimes not, but sometimes, you know, you just, I wanted to bring those out, and just, you know, sometimes like self-doubt and these things that you just don't feel like you're a good person sometimes, or you feel like you did somebody wrong or something, you know, you just want to forget, you know, it's like, once again, it's like Glasgow, you're trying to block, it's like, you know, I can move on from these things and I can tune them out.
And it's that image of you that is going to kill you, it seems. So it's not the car as such, but the image of yourself, the negative image reflected.
Yeah, it's hard to like sometimes just think, you know, if you're someone like myself who thinks about life and tries to write about myself or my thoughts, I try to go deep and think about my innermost, you know, thing I think about, sadnesses from whenever, and, you know, childhood or teenage years when I was feeling down, or my 20s where I was, you know, partying too much or doing whatever too much. Just, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but I'm just like
the Glaswegian. That's you. It's the 20-something Brian.
And I don't think I need to be so hard on myself, but I do feel like I try to, like, you know, I think I am kind of hard on myself, and so I just do try to like forgive myself a little bit in these ways, you know, like, you know, I do feel like I try to find a way to comfort. I feel like comforting myself in songwriting could possibly make other people feel good, and, you know, if I do think about writing for not just myself and to spread around to the world, which I do try to do.
Of course.
I do like to create these songs that I feel like after you listen to them, you're like, oh, that kind of made me feel better, maybe. I don't know. It's not, I don't think about them as therapeutic, but they feel good to me to express, you know, just, you know, that I do have these feelings sometimes and they're okay.
One final switch that's most intriguing to me about that song is the focus. You can tune it all out on the one hand, so you can do this.
Yes.
And that's the metaphorical component is not foregrounded in that statement. You can do it. You know, you can tune it out. It's like you're tuning it all out is the next thing. So then it's like a simile. So you can do this, and then it's like you're doing this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, like this particular like mental trick that you have, the idea of tuning it out, and how that might help with self-preservation and enabling to get to the calm place.
Yeah.
It's like this trick. You can do it. It's like you're doing it. You, by virtue of it being like you're doing it, you're doing it.
Well, it's almost like meditation is how I imagine meditation works. And when I've attempted it, you know, it's like kind of trying to tune out all the noise, and, you know, it's just trying to get to some piece of calm place. And I think that has been like throughout all my songwriting, how it's been. And I've only written alone in very calm, quiet spaces, you know. And, and so it all kind of is glued together by that peace of mind and trying to get to that calm place. And I think you figured me out, man.
And there you have it. So he doesn't meditate, but he does songwrite in a spiritual way. Here we have Brian Just, the most spiritual, non-spiritual person going.
Like that.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Courtesy of Jenny. That was.
Oh yes, that's a pure Jenny Hansen quote.
Yep.
And here's a picture of her right here. There she is.
And she won't be present at the Turf Club.
She is going to be there.
Perfect.
She's going to be flying in from San Francisco.
Playing the flute.
Absolutely. Probably some tambourine and singing along, and she's going to be doing a lot of stuff. And that's going to be so exciting to see her and play with her again. And so it's going to be a fun show. I can't wait. And I can't wait to finally release this album. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, we've been waiting. Jaime's, we're very happy to receive it.
Jaime's has been really exceptionally cool about it. I love those folks over there. And
yeah, already one of their records of the year.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
This feels so good. I've been telling them, because I go in there every week. I tell them every week. I'm like, it's coming. I swear, I'm gonna make this album. It's coming. And then like a year later, I'm like, I have the albums, but I don't have the jackets. And then I'm like, okay, I haven't made them yet. It's just kind of forever. The oldest demo I have of this album is from 2010. So some of this stuff goes almost 7 years old.
Wow.
So.
And at Jaime's, they have the vinyl. They can't sell it yet, but they have...
Yeah, they'll have vinyl for sure. I only made 200, so I'm hoping to... sell all 200 at the show.
Yep.
But I'm realistic too. So whatever's left though after the show will be dispersed to Jaime's and Barely Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the Electric Fetus.
Cool.
I'll probably give them each a handful and then we'll see what happens.
So on maybe Sunday, September 10th, you can go and get the vinyl at one of those places.
I will be sleeping that whole day.
Saturday, September 9th.
Maybe Monday or Tuesday.
But Saturday, September 9th, that's when we can go to the Turf Club and witness not just you, but Starfolk, Gloom, the non-gloomy Gloom Balloon, Improvistra, and DJ Jen Hughes, $9 in advance, $10 on the door.
Yeah.
7:30.
7:30's DJ starts. I think it's gonna go Gloom Balloon, Starfolk, and then us, and then Improvistra in the basement, and it's gonna be the biggest party I've probably ever put on.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. It's like I've been waiting for this for a while. I'm a little nervous. In fact, it's gonna be.
But the nervous Brian isn't here. This is the limelight, happy in front of the cameras, Brian.
Oh, that's right. I'm being the cool one. It's gonna be totally fine, and I'm not nervous about breaking strings or forgetting words or anything. I'm gonna be totally excited the whole time, and not overwhelmed by family and friends who are all there to see me play my songs.
Some of whom
secretly
have been your co-collaborators, even your father.
Absolutely, my dad will be there, and
not performing.
Yeah, still looking for a babysitter for that night too. So,
not
anybody want to touch base with me on that? Yeah.
This has been Back to the City.
Yeah.
I've been and will remain Simon Calder.
And here's some cute kittens.
Some cute kittens
playing with a baby.
Yeah, there we go.
A baby with kittens.
The challenge.
You must find
the
that.
final challenge. Thank you, Brandon.
All right.